what's up, you guys? My name is BoltMutt. And new year, new me, new videos, new fucking whatever. You got it? Alright, so I'm gonna try to be a little bit more PG-13. I feel like my audience is a bunch of kids, so I gotta promote not doing drugs, which I'm for. I don't believe in drugs. I really don't. They're kind of a myth. I don't really think that they're. I've never smoked a loaf of marijuana in my life, alright? Get fucked. So today, I'm gonna talk to you guys about the one time, many moons ago, where I almost got arrested in Anthrocon. Alright, so to get started with this story, basically I wasn't really in the convention center. I was outside in the cities of Pittsburgh. So I wasn't really at Anthrocon, but I was kind of like, I was in Pittsburgh for Anthrocon, so whatever, that makes sense. Alright, so it was a Friday night, and me and my boy, I'm not gonna fucking mention his name. Alright, so, I was about, what was that? I was about 18 or 19, I completely forget. And if you guys have been to Anthrocon before, you guys know there's that, like, little waterfall thing near the road. And then there's that, like, pier that overlooks the ocean with a lake, I'm sorry. And then there's that kind of strip. I'm gonna call it a boardwalk. There's that little boardwalk thing, and then there's, like, the baseball field, the bridge, whatever. It was, like, maybe 11 o'clock at night. And the boardwalk, you know, like, the bridge was all lit up. You could see the lights from the baseball field because there was a game going on with the Pittsburgh Pirates or some shit like that. I don't know sports. And, yeah. I was enjoying my night. I had taken a few shots before at a party. I had taken a walk, but I wasn't drunk. I was tipsy, but I wasn't like, I was fine, alright? So me and my boy, I'm gonna call him my boy. Me and my boy were walking down the board. We're at the pier for a little bit, and I'm offered a cigarette. I take a cigarette. You know, we're talking, having a smoke, whatever. And him and I decided to go for a walk. So we go for a walk down the pier. Because it's a nice night. It's like, what, maybe 11 o'clock at night, maybe later, maybe 1. I'm not entirely sure. But for once, y'all already fucking know. When I go to cons, I like to... But for once, I was pretty much sober for the most part. I could make conscious decisions. I was able... If I wanted to drive to a 7-Eleven, I could have drove to a 7-Eleven. I was fine, okay? So, me and my boy walking down the pier, and I'm not wearing my fursuit. I have a backpack on, I have my con badges on, he has his con badges on, and we're just kind of walking, having a stroll. Alright, so we're walking down the boardwalk, and this dude, he's fucking loud as hell, alright? If loud means he reeks of weed, okay? Alright, so he reeks of weed. Am I even recording? Yeah, I am. So he reeks of weed, and he comes up to us, and he's like, "Hey, yo, dudes, what's going on? How y'all doing?" And we're like, "Yo, what's up, bro? Doing alright. We're just chilling." And he's smoking if you guys don't know what they're called, they're dab pens. Basically, what I believe a dab pen is, it's the THC oil extract, some fucking shit like that, in a vape. And basically, you vape it instead of, you know, lighting up actual bud. And that's another way to get high, fun fact. But he had one of those, just casually. Little side note, when I was at Anthrocon this past year, this fucking dude came into our room, and he had just a fucking ink dropper, like maybe this big, of just straight THC extract. I don't even know what it's fucking called. And he's like, "Oh, stick out your tongue." And I was like, "Ha!" And he just fucking put like a bunch of drops on my tongue. It was great. Anyway, so he's clearly stoned out of his fucking mind. His eyes are bloodshot red, whatever. And we're kind of talking about the convention, saying, "Oh, this, that, whatever, this was annoying, whatever." And he was like, "Do you want a hit from my pen, whatever?" And I'm like, "You know what, dude, I'm fine. I don't want to get crossfaded because I'm a mess crossfaded. I'm not even that drunk, but I don't want to risk it because it's early in the con." I think, it was definitely a Friday. We had the fursuit parade the next morning. I had other events to go to. I just didn't want to fuck myself over, you know? He's like, "Yeah, no, you're fine, you're fine. I have a bowl if you want to take a hit from a bowl." And my life flashed before my eyes. I was like, Bolt. Do I take a hit from a bowl of someone I've never met before? And all y'all might be thinking, I said yes, but you're incorrect. I said no. I don't take drugs from no fucking randos. I'm smarter than that. Fuck you, I wouldn't. This fucking dude came into our room, and he's like, "Oh, stick out your tongue." And I was like, "Ha!" It was great. So I said, I happily declined. He's like, "Yeah, no sweat." So he fucking pulls out a joint. He has a fucking, this kid was fucking loaded, right? I don't know. He was shorter than me, and I'm 5'9". So, like, I didn't think he was that old. But, like, he had a dab pen, a bowl, and a fucking fat J. So I'm like, Jesus Christ, this kid's fucking hard as hell. So he literally just lights up his joint and is just smoking it and talking with us. And my friend is pretty uncomfortable. I don't think he really, liked weed or marijuana or whatever the fuck. And I can kind of tell he was uncomfortable, so I was like, alright, yo, bro, we're gonna dip, but we'll see you later. I might take you up on an offer another time, though. And he's like, yeah, no, bet. Not even 10 minutes later, this guy, who was clearly a cop, like, he wasn't wearing, like, his full-out uniform, but, like, he's wearing, like, all black. You can see the belt. He has the badge. He's wearing, like, one of those polo-looking-ass shirts, whatever. He's wearing one of those. He comes up to us. He's like, hey, how you guys doing? And I was like, yo, what's up? I'm doing alright. How are you doing tonight, sir? And we're talking. Alright, so this is just my experience with walking around, like, normies at, like, near conventions, like, the general, like, city or whatever. But a lot of normies will see your badges, and some of them might be like, oh, hey, you're part of the convention, aren't you? And we'll be like, yeah, we're attending that. And they'll kind of ask us questions, so I'm kind of used to people being like, hey, what's up, man? People I don't know, and we kind of like have a... Bitch stopped recording when I was talking. But yeah, no, so people kind of come up to us and like ask us questions about the fandom and be like, oh, do you have one of those furry suits? Do you fuck in the suits? Whatever. And I'm just very used to it. So I'm like usually a very anxious person when talking to people I don't know. But I don't know, at conventions my like anxiety wall has like dithered down to like a thin sheet of tissue paper, and I just fucking burst right through it. So I was just talking my way out. I was just talking I was talking a lot. So the guy, we're talking, I'm like, yeah, we're from the convention, whatever. He's like, alright, so, we got some reports that a guy is just, you know, he's smoking weed out here. Alright, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a fucking snitch. I won't snitch on you. Like, if you kill a man, probably, I might snitch. But, like, on some dumb shit like that, no, I'm not gonna snitch, alright? I'm chill, don't fuck with me. And I was like, oh, really? I've not seen anyone around. And he's like, alright, well, I had to talk to you guys because I can smell the weed off of your clothes. And my friend's eyes fucking widened. He was shook. And if you guys don't already know, I've run into the cops one too many times. So I can kinda know how to talk to them in a way that they'll respect me. But when I'm in the wrong, there's no hope. And for once, I was not in the wrong. I didn't smoke weed. I just was around someone who did. So, I was like, oh, no. We were just talking to this guy, he went that way, who had like a little, one of those dab pens. Maybe that's it. And he's like, oh, what are dab pens? I'm like, oh, you know, they have like the THC extract. It's kind of like weed, but not. And he was like, oh, so you just lied to me then? And I was like, what? And he's like, well, I mean, you just told me that you didn't know anyone smoking weed, and now you're telling me that you saw some guy smoking weed. And I was just like, dude, fuck. I fucked up. I already fucked up. Like, fucking first inning, I fucked up. So I apologize. I'm like, I'm sorry, sir. I just completely forgot. I was at a party before. I had a few shots, and I'm kind of just like walking it off, you know, trying to get some air. And he was like, yeah, no, you're fine. Would I be able to see some identification, from you guys? I'm not gonna be one of those people that are like, why do you need my ID? What am I being charged with? I just give them my ID. I don't put up a fight. I understand that cops just want to know who you are, alright? If a cop comes up to me, I don't even care if I'm just in a supermarket. If he shows me his badge and says, hey, can I see your ID? You can see my fucking dick for all I care. Just don't hurt me. So I show the man my ID, and he looks at it, then he looks up at me, and he says, so you're 18? And I say, or 19, I really forget. And I'm like, yes, sir, I'm 19. And he's like, so, you said that you went to a party before? And I'm like, yes, sir, I did. I was at a party over at the main hotel over there. I forgot the name, whatever. And he said, so you just confessed to not only underage drinking, but to being intoxicated in public. But I've lied to him about smoking weed, which I didn't even fucking do. I told him I was drunk when I'm underage. I fucking, I I'm just digging myself deeper and deeper into this fucking hole, alright? I couldn't really dig myself out of that. I kind of was just like, fuck! So the man has a sit down on like the boardwalk. It's like the boardwalk, then like steps leading down to the water, like the pier, I guess what you would call it. So he was like, alright you guys, just take off your backpacks and have a seat. And so I take off my backpack and I just have a sit. And another cop comes over. This one's in full fucking uniform and I'm like, oh no. Oh no, 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 no. This is not gonna end well. Because if you guys don't already know, my life is already a fucking mess. And if you put fucking police involved, that's no, no, no. Daddy does not like. Alright, so basically, the officers still have my ID, and my friend was over 21. He was like 22 or some shit like that. So he was allowed to be drunk. He really had nothing on him. He didn't have a backpack. He didn't really smell like weed because he was, like I said before, he was kind of uncomfortable. He was kind of keeping his distance. When I, on the other hand, was just like right next to this dude, just having a fucking talk, whatever. So my friend is really, he's pretty much good. So they give him his ID, and they say, alright sir, have a good night. And me, if that happened to me, I'd say, hey, can I wait with my friend? Like, he's my ride home. Or fucking, he has my room key. Or I'm staying with him. Some shit to not leave your homie alone. But no, he says, alright officer, have a good night. Bolt, I'll see you later. And he fucking dips. He fucking sprints away. And I'm like, boy, ah. I honestly don't kind of blame him because I was underage drinking and he could kind of be like, oh, did you give him the alcohol, this, that, whatever. And I kind of get it, but like, fuck you, dude. I've not talked to you since, but fuck you. Anyway, so I'm sitting on the curb. The officer says, all right, you can stand up, come talk with us. So I stand up, I leave my backpack on the floor, and I stand next to the two officers, we're talking. He's like, all right, so we've gotten reports of the guy. He's wearing all black, and he is wearing convention badges. And of course, guess what I'm wearing? Fucking black shoes, black skinny jeans, a black hoodie. I fit the characteristic perfectly with my con badges. So I'm just like, holy shit. They think I'm this fucking dude who offered me weed in the fucking middle of Pittsburgh. So in my bag was my first two paws, a bandana, my wallet, my vape, I believe, and there was one more little thing that really got me fucked. I actually have them right over here, so give me a second. Alright, so I buy these every convention because they're fucking great. They're honestly amazing. Basically, they are stash flasks that look like tampons. So, essentially, ooh, they're sticky. I've not washed them since Anthrocon 2016. I mean, I've not washed them since 2017. But I'll just buy new ones. They're fine. So basically, what you're gonna do is you're gonna put your alcohol in these little test tubes, and then you're gonna close it. You're gonna put them in these little tampon bags. You're gonna peel off the plastic, and you're gonna seal it. And from the outside, oh wow, that looks like a tampon. Nope, you're fucking wrong. That's alcohol. And what do I have in my bag? Not closed tampons, but used ones. Not like used actual tampons, but they weren't sealed. Like, I never usually seal them because I reuse them all the time. So, and no one ever goes through my fucking bag. But like, I forgot they were in my bag empty, so there's just all these fucking things. And the officer is like, what are those? And I'm like, shit. So I pull them out, and I just pull out this fucking test tube. And, oh, there's actually still, like, alcohol in here, so that's really good. What even is this? That's fucking, Svedka strawberry from, like, a year ago. Anyway, so, I pull out literally, all of these fucking things. You might be thinking, Bolt, you carry alcohol around with you at the con? Incorrect. These make great fucking shot glasses, alright? I use them for shot glasses because, one, they're fucking tampons. So basically, these are good to use as shot glasses because you literally can't put them down. You can fucking close it up, throw it in your pocket, save the shot for, like, I don't know, later in the party. I give them out because I'm a good fucking party host, okay? Shut your fucking mouth. Alright, so anyway, so this fucking guy sees all these fucking little flask things. And he's like, what are those? And I'm like, fuck. And I just tell him straight up. I'm like, alright, they're the little test tube things that look like tampons. But he's like, alright, cool. Why do you have these? I said the most generic, I'm not doing anything wrong answer, and I said it's my friends. And for some fucking reason, he's like, oh, I mean, okay. So he tells me to go sit back on the curb and wait for him. At this point, every episode of Cops is running through my head. I'm like, they're about to say, alright, son, stand up and put your hands behind your back. And I'm gonna be arrested in Pittsburgh. And you know what I can't be? Arrested in Pittsburgh. Because I can't go to jail. I'm gonna die. I'm jail bait. So basically, I'm sitting there for what feels like an hour, but it was literally maybe like 10 minutes. And the officer comes up to me. He's like, alright, stand up. So I stand up, you know, I'm like, yes sir, what's going on? He's like, do you know that you're breaking numerous laws, not only by underage drinking, but being intoxicated in public? And I wasn't gonna say, I'm not intoxicated in public, you fucking idiot. But I like I said, don't fight the police. That's only gonna dig you into a deeper fucking hole. So I said, yes sir. I basically, at that moment, I was like, I've just sealed my fate. I've acknowledged I fucked up, and I'm going to get arrested at Anthrocon. And he's like, so you're from New York, are you? And I'm like, yes sir, I'm a college student, I'm in school for film. I have whatever, I work a full-time job, I'm an Eagle Scout, fuck, try to boost myself up so fucking much. So he's like, oh, so who are you staying with at this convention? And I'm like, oh, I'm just staying with a bunch of my friends that I've met online over the past couple years. He's like, alright, where are they? Are they still at your hotel room? And I'm like, yeah, they're all at the hotel room, I kinda wasn't feeling too good. Just wanted to go out for a walk, just, you know, get some air. Like smoke a cigarette maybe and just kind of be on my way. I dug myself into another hole. I'm pretty sure the smoking age in Pittsburgh is 21. But smoking age in New York is 18. So fuck you, I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. So he says, alright, well, you have to be more careful. I can tell that you're not severely intoxicated. I can hold a conversation with you. Your pupils aren't dilated like if you were high or whatever. Your eyes aren't red. You're being very cooperative. So I just want you to go back to your hotel room and be safe. Have a good night. And I was just like, okay. So I said, thank you so much. I shook his hand. I fucking quickly threw all my shit in my bag and just kind of sped walk back to the convention center, hoping to God I'd run into that fucker who offered me weed. I never saw him again. He never really followed me back on Twitter, so I unfollowed him. And yeah, that was a cool time. Basically, all in all, I was that fucking close from being arrested. And at Anthrocon, what a fucking time. Who am I, the fucking Kansas or whatever the fuck that white supremacist ass furry? Like, fuck that, dude. I could have been arrested like him. That would have been fucking horrible. But for once, I did not do any drugs. I literally had a shot or two. I was sober. I didn't take the weed. I didn't take the weed. I mean, yeah, that's the story of how I almost got arrested at a convention, at Anthrocon specifically. Yeah, if you liked the video, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I try to make new videos whenever I can. I'm sorry my life is such a shit show. Also, if you guys want to support me in any way, shape, or form, the link to my Ko-fi is in the description below. If you throw me a coffee, leave your Discord username in the note that you send when you give a Ko-fi, and I'll add you to the Discord chat. My Discord chat actually helped me decide what I'm going to talk about this video, so if you want to help me decide topics for my future videos, be sure to try to get into that maybe if you want to. I don't really care. Also, shout out to Taylor. Hey Taylor. Someone recognized me at work and it was really wild. But hey Taylor, how you doing? Hope you guys had a good new year. Yeah. Talk to you guys later. Goodbye. Oh, I actually didn't stop the camera.